Hey, Rob, I got a question from somebody. I just wanted to throw this out at you. They're hearing a lot about this voice search ready websites and AI, and how that, is it going to affect their websites and what should they be doing? And we've added websites to our platform, but how are we telling customers, or what do we need to be telling customers and members what we're doing to make them more voice search ready and AI ready? What's your thoughts on that? Because this is the world you've lived in for the last 30 years.
I've seen a lot of changes since '95 when I built my very first website. We have a lot more processing data now than we did back then. I feel like a dinosaur when it comes to some of that. But with this whole thing with the voice search taking over, as we talk about all the time, the voice search registration is a huge piece of all the marketing and what kind of ends up coming in there. And what happens, especially with AI taking over, so you have two different aspects. So you have the voice search piece to make sure you're going to be listed and found on voice search as a local business. The other piece is making sure that if someone is talking about a topic that would make sense to your business, locally especially, that you would come up inside of the AI tools like Gemini, Bard, which now are the same thing, Chat GPT, or any of those, because you got to make sure you have those, because it's an opportunity for backlinks. So all of it ties into your local SEO and what everybody knows about you. So it falls into the three categories or the three pillars I talk about
Yep.
all the time. You got the content side, which is going to be your posts, your business information, your hours, your business info, questions and answers, and all the different tools that we work with at Simply Be Found. And then we've built out, we were ahead of the curve when it comes to some of this and how we ended up doing some of that structure. Your
Right.
next pillar
Right.
is going to be that authority piece, and then your last piece is trust piece. So you got to make sure it all fits into that same exact piece. And if you want to see that, I'll make sure our team links up in either the description
Right.
or throws a thing up at the top. But it's one of those things to where you you have to make sure that the data sets. So you remember when we first started Simply Be Found 4 years ago, and I said it's like taking your business's information and turning it into advertising.
Yeah, I remember that, and what we're doing is it's the information piece out there, and you pound it in about the pillars, man. I'm all the time. It's always all about the pillars. It really needs to be done to get there. And I know when we originally started talking about this, in just the last 4 years, the way the websites interact with the way the search engines are happening is changed, and AI has just changed it again on that whole process. Because when we first started this, websites had a value, but then it went down in value a little bit, and now it's 20% of the value. So
25.
it's gone up to 25 now. Last number I saw was 20% of the the recognition when that happens, when they're looking for that service or product locally. That made a big difference. And the other thing that I've seen too is the way, I've seen the algorithms change over the last 4 years as I've learned more with with working with our team, is the fact that they use the keywords, they stuffed them in there, they stuffed all kinds of things in there. And now with AI, it's getting smarter again. Can you tell me a little bit what your opinion is on that? Because I kind of agree that just throwing things into a website is not going to help you unless you're talking about it, especially the way the algorithms work. Do you agree with that?
I
Uh,
agree,
uh,
because it doing all that keyword stuffing, and what a lot of, and I don't mean to bash any website design companies, but there's a lot of website designers. For one, you got a lot of website designers who have never drove traffic to a website and got a website that can actually convert and change and actually be able to do things organically. You get the others that they're so scammy, and we use that word pretty powerful in there, but they keyword stuff that out. And the algorithms have gotten so smart with AI that they know the difference between keyword stuffing and not keyword stuffing. So that when they go in and they scan a website and they'll look at it, what your business is, what's happening is they're looking for natural language. They're looking for, how am I going to talk to my customers? And how would it sound naturally? Just like if you were sitting across from the table, just like you and I are right now in both
right.
of our offices, and we're talking to each other, it wants to see that kind of dialogue. So there's also a component that gets attached into that is called schema or Schema, however you want to pronounce it, because I've heard it both ways. But that is the data sets that get put inside the website, which provides the right information. So it knows that information is accurate, and each of the labels that are in there. Remember, when it comes to your website, when it comes to anything, when it comes to your local SEO, your voice search registration, any of those aspects, it's all about the data. It takes data for your business to be found. It's not like back in the day where you had a yellow pages to go to, but yet it kind of is now that I say that out loud, because that was nothing but data
Really?
points
Yeah.
back then.
Right. Well, it was data points, and what was so unique about the world we're in today versus the yellow page I'm just going to talk about, since I lived those years for a lot of years, is it used to have, you had to put your information in once a year. You couldn't change it. You couldn't update it. If you dropped something, it was still there. If you added something, nobody would know about it. And that's the big difference today. And if you were a new business and you started 2 weeks after the last day of the yellow pages, you were basically
Oh, you're screwed.
out of luck. Yeah, you were done. Where today, I mean, for new businesses starting up, it's so important for them to understand that they can start anytime, and they can have, and the way things are set up, it's to their advantage as a small business, over because the way the search engines are, we get priority as local businesses over box stores, and that's what people don't understand. And so it's that information to talk about. And then let's talk a little bit while we're talking about data sets of, we have our tools within for our platform, and we have the thing called posts and questions and answers, and that's a great way for you to talk about things as well as on your website. They kind of talk about the same types of topics and information. Do you agree with that? I mean, I've heard people say that it's important. What is your thought? Is it important it's not really a backlink, but it's kind of like saying, oh, I offer this, and this in this area, but on posts, but the problem is you hear so much out there, and that's why I throw this out and let's have a conversation about it, because I don't know if it's that important, but I think there's some value to it, but not to the level that some people are making it out to be. What's your thought?
Maybe. I mean, I disagree with it on one hand, but yet I agree with it on the other. But I strongly kind of disagree with it, because posts, when you're posting that, you're injecting that information in. The only way you're going to bring it in is if you have multiple different pages on your website, or if you just have everything on your homepage. You would use the learn more function. It would link it to that, which then kind of creates a backlink in a strange way. You can do the same thing with YouTube videos. You can put that YouTube video directly right into that learn more piece, because you can aim to any web address on the internet, which then could cause that backlink, but it's not a true backlink.
Right. And you have people talking about that all the time, that you got to be in both places. But so when we're talking about voice search ready and AI ready, in the citations building aspect, that's the big thing. Everybody, agencies like to talk about citations. We like to talk about networks and the voice search stuff. How important is the website piece in that process as well? Or is what you're doing on your profile, business profiles, a higher level? I mean, it gets to be really, it's not just linear. It's something that's not just you start here and in here. You have things that do all kinds of stuff all over the place. You
have stuff all over the place. So when you look at local SEO, voice search, you look at websites, you look at how backlinks work, how regular SEO works, because you have traditional SEO, you have local SEO, and then you have a combination of what it all is and what it ends up being. So when you look at that kind of web, I mean, everything is connected in. So that's the stuff that ends up mattering on the website to the citation piece. It's not the same as a citation, but it kind of is making sure the right schema data is actually being found on that website and matches what your NAP score is, which would be your name, address, phone number. That is going to have a high importance.
Right. And but that's the big consistency. So if you're putting things out there on your profiles, like your business Google profile, your Apple profile, whatever, and then if it doesn't match on your website, that's a key piece. I mean, that's one thing that we don't control. But if you're putting information out there using our platform, you want to make sure that information looks the same on your website. Make sure if you're not using us as a web designer, make sure your web designers are doing that for you, because that's the important part. They don't know what you're saying. They may have spelled the word street out. I've used that term more than once. And then the next person goes ST period or ST not period.
Drive is probably the biggest one.
Right. And, but people don't understand that little nuanced difference can cause networks to not recognize you as a business, as a local business.
It's all a point-based system, and I mean it docks you points. You want to be at the highest points you possibly can be, and it's where you have to keep going to be able to do it. I mean, I see people go up for low organic. I see them come back down. I see them kind of on a wave. That I kind of see them kind of pattern out. So, but it's all about taking that data and being able to turn that data into something that would be advertising. So no matter if you have a blog, if you have a website with us, you're going to have a blog, you're going to have access to be able to do those functions. You're going to be able to get those things done to where you're actually able to do a lot of information and be able to process through.
Right. That's a good point. So, but it's all, like you said, it's not like the old days of the meta words. When you used to go on the backside of your website and you list out all the different variations of spellings or whatever.
Really, Colorado, Windsor, Colorado, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
I do roofing. I have roofing nails. I have this. I have this. I have this. And next thing you know, boom, instantly you rank. I mean, I remember back in the day when we could get something to rank in a couple of days on Alta Vista or Lycos. And back, I would have been probably 12 or 13 back then. And I actually ripped apart the entire Alta Vista and Lycos search engine because I was like, I should create my own search engine. I decided to recreate the whole thing, and I created a whole algorithm that went out and looked for stuff and then put it up on the open source. It's now been used across all kinds of different platforms. Not so much now. I've never looked at it. I don't even know if it even exists out there anymore. But I mean, that was one of those things to where that's what taught me how algorithms look at a website, how they scan it, how it goes through and looks at every single piece. So when I look and I break down the algorithms for how they're going to look at the website, that is how you get a voice search ready website, which if you just have a regular website that is SEO'd, it is not the same as having a voice search ready website. And if you want your website to be scanned, you want us to take a look at it, all you have to do is become a free member, put it in the support system, in the support ticket for it, saying, hey, can you look at my website and give me my opinion if I can talk? It's been a long day over here. But if you do that, I'll go in and I'll personally look at each of your websites. And I'll give you my feedback, and I'll let you know if I think it's voice search ready or not.
Right. And for everybody to know that we do this as to give back to local businesses. And you don't have to be a website user with us, but if you decide to join us, we'd love to have you, and work with you and grow with you.
And you can do that on the free plan. I mean, they can sign up as a free member, and I will go in and I will look at it. If you're on a paid membership, if you're at least at the $25 rate, you're going to get higher priority than our free accounts on this type of thing. But I mean, I get to them pretty quickly. So, I mean, it usually takes me a week to 2 weeks to be able to get back to somebody. I'll tell them what I think of their website, and that gives that business information to either go to their web developer to give them another chance to be able to fix those things or some ideas of how to improve it. Or if they decide, hey, guess what? No, just go ahead and do it. We can do it for them.
Sounds great. Hey, Rob, thanks for that information today. I really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Let me know how I can help and what other questions members have. I'm always here. I love to talk about this type of stuff. If you like us just rambling and hearing us, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out our website, simplybefound.com, and become a free member today, where we just help small businesses or local businesses be able to get found by more local customers who are searching for the products and services they sell. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear your feedback on this video as well. Thank you.
You love it. Thank you. Have a good one, guys.